It's week 4. It's hard.
28 days, right? To
Is that what it is?
start the
28?
halfway meet. Yep.
That makes sense.
Halfway point.
All right. Now we got that cleared
What's
up.
happening?
Early post. So we're back to 12:35 posts now, going forward throughout the meet, and I think a little bit earlier maybe on closing weekend. Everything's good. Looking forward to the card, Saturday's card. A few stakes on Saturday's card. Some nice races today to talk about. And good racing starting up. And I'm all in. I saw the morning line on the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland. Classic Causeway is 5-1 fourth choice in the morning line.
13 hole.
Yeah.
Probably had something to do with it.
He'll be 8-5.
Well, yeah, but I
on
mean,
planet, and there's no planet on Earth. It's early in the meet, so I'm going to give some free advice to the morning line maker at Keeneland. Pay attention to New York racing. They actually we have racing in New York. We race at Belmont, Saratoga, and Aqueduct, and a lot of times the results here matter. He drowned a horse that came back and broke its maiden impressively at Churchill over the weekend.
Yeah.
I understand post 13, he'd be 7-5 via the rail. He'll be 8 or 9-5 from post 13, and he should be. I'm excited about that horse.
Me too.
He's the last of the top debut winners at Saratoga to come back, and I'm looking forward to it. And kind of hoping that Brian Lynch is on the Triple Crown trail.
It's a fun week of racing.
Brian Lynch, with a player in the Triple Crown. I don't think he's really had one, and that would be pretty cool.
It's a fun week. Started my off day with one of my pets won yesterday. Did you see that? Pieri Bianchi. Congrats to Carlos and Jay and the gang. No, she went to Indiana. She is the all-time leading female Indiana bred of all time.
Oh,
so
they had big Indiana night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, head over to Naira Bets if you're not a member of Naira Bets. She must have been a very short price.
Why? I think she was 1-5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not a member? Use the promo code. Was she like 6-1 in the morning line? Or
Probably,
was it a different morning line?
She's going to wrap it up in the autumn days over at the Big A in November.
200, promo code match 200. We will match from $200 of your initial deposit. Play through Naira Bets. Keep the money in the game. We have a 50-50 with Delaware today. If you opt in and you bet at least 50 here at Belmont and Delaware Park, $15 bonus. Win, lose, or draw. We also have the Saturday contest. You have until 5 p.m. tomorrow evening to sign up for this. Live money contest, always a lot of fun. Go to Naira.com/contest. And finally, America's Day at the Races, 12:30 to 5.
We're done at 4:52.
We are. Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay. I think we'll run a little bit longer when Keeneland starts tomorrow to try to stay in line with their races. Okay. All right. Race number 1, not a lot to go on. In fact, there's really no handicapping to be done in race number 1. I have a stat for Todd Pletcher with 2-year-olds. It's actually
Emboîté, by the way. You were right up in the press office.
Emboîté?
Emboîté. It's a ballet move.
I'm guessing that Acacia helped you with that.
I didn't know. We looked it up, and I have not seen my pal.
John
Acacia
Brown
yet today.
didn't know a ballet term? That's shocking. Emboîté. Okay, she's going to be very excited about this from we're on the show together.
What's the Clement has another one, right?
Yes.
The one that got scratched at the gate.
You're correct.
I can't remember now.
No, I can't remember. But thanks for bringing it up. You're right.
welcome.
I can't remember. Yes, you're definitely right.
Can't remember.
Anyhow, Todd is 13 for 49 with 2-year-old first-time stars. These are not turf routes. This is supposed to be turf sprints. I apologize. I probably wrote route.
It's okay.
No, I wrote sprint. It's supposed to say turf sprint, if we could correct that.
We know the turf route numbers are nowhere near that
What's
good.
interesting about this number is he's 0 for 14 at Belmont.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's
so we're
had
thinking
a lot
about
of success
upstate.
at Saratoga and
Okay.
probably a little Aqueduct. I think never surprised one last year, his
Correct.
first time out sprinting. It feels a little random, but I did put the stat up.
Perfect
He's
mornings
0 for
also,
14 at Belmont. I guessed with Emboîté, no nay never. There's plenty of turf pedigree in here. He's got 2. I would prefer this one. It seems like people are deferring to the turf with these American Pharaohs now.
Talked about it on
And
Sunday, right?
It's reminiscent, because I'm old and I've been around a long time, to a firmed and spectacular bid. When they didn't do very well at stud, even Smarty Jones, right? They started going to the turf, and I know he's had more success than that. But it is interesting. You don't see him going to the dirt as much. You've taken a different route and gone to your main man, Ray Handel.
My
on the
main man,
outside.
Ray Handel, this mare was 4 for 19 overall, 4 for 17 on the turf. You know, jury's still out, obviously, on Classic Empire. He's a pioneer of the Nile, though, so there is a little turf pedigree there. We'll see what happens with this one. I thought, like you, I mean, Todd's horses look like they could be okay.
Yeah,
between
it's just
4 and the
a
bottom.
lot of
It's
guessing.
all guessing, right?
Yeah, I prefer the 2 and maybe the 7. The dam has produced 2 horses to try the turf. They were not very good. First worked 10 in Empire Ridge, worked 10 and 2/5. The 2-year-old Zale. But I actually thought the horse was not pushed along at all, and I actually thought the workout was okay. We'll see how it works out. in race number 1, the money will go to the 2, 4, and 7. In all likelihood, one of those 3 will win. Probably 2 of them will run 1, 2. Race number 2. Race number 2. I don't see any reason not to like this horse, I'm Perfect Too, who broke her maiden over a talented Chad Brown runner Equal Pay last time out. She should be forwardly placed in this race. I don't think the pace is going to be particularly strong in here, and I don't love to run to maiden breakers that are short priced in their next starts. I think she's just better than these horses.
Yeah, she did what a lot of Tommy Albertrani horses do. She improved a great deal first time to second time.
Well, she had trouble in her debut as well.
She did. And she went from state bred to open company. She's back against the state bred fillies now. Yeah, not much really to knock. I thought she got a pretty good setup here. Equal Pay went really fast on the front end, obviously, and going the 7/8 was able to pick her up late in the game.
But she wasn't far off the pace, Anthony.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't. I have no knocks on her. I do feel like she'll be under even money when it's all said and done. That's the only knock. I don't really want her at that short of a price. I took a little shot against it, but I'm fine, hoping second off the break.
Pick her every time she runs. I'm
a fan.
I'm assuming this is a pick because it's Irad Ortiz.
I like the rider change to Irad. I like the fact that she's stretching back out to the mile, and we'll see if the other field.
The lack of pace really compromise.
Well, yeah,
her?
a little bit. It concerns me a bit, but I didn't really want anyone. I thought about
Pretty Clever is dangerous.
Yeah, I thought
in
about
here.
her.
She's going to be forward. The pace shouldn't be that strong. She'll probably be either the speed or stalking, chasing Kara. And I thought she was fairly logical in here. I don't know what's wrong with her races.
Nothing.
I have the 3 second, but
I
I have the second 3. The problem with the 3 is twofold. She's slow. She has no speed, and she's slow. Her figures aren't that good. We'll see. I thought she'd take too much money with Irad being on her today.
See, I thought Pretty Clever would be the horse that would take the money. And to be completely honest with you,
I think she and Pretty Clever will be very similar prices. We don't know.
Really?
We don't know what was Saturday's bet. So we're at 89 because I won 2 on Friday. I'm not going to bet this race though.
No.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a significant difference in price between the 2 and 7. I believe a lot of people will see that Irad trainer switch. I may be wrong, but we'll see. Well, race number 3, I like the 7 Life Changer, and without Life Changer in here, I mean, it's just a question how much you trust 12th man after the scratches, and we'll look at 12th man. There's no F. 12th.
Right. 12th.
This is going all the way back to the maiden win on October 8th of last year at Belmont. We saw Michelle win impressively with a maiden off a long layoff here the other day. If this horse runs any number of her good races, he's going to win, but the problem is he ran a stinker last time, and now he's been off for a significant time, and he drops down. He's hard to trust, but with the 7 Life Changer scratched, I don't have an alternative.
Yeah, I picked him on top anyway, but like you said, I mean, I thought Life Changer was the only interesting alternative to him, and I mean,
now
this
he's going
race
to be
goes
even
through
money
him,
in him
yeah.
with him scratched.
He might even be shorter than that, Andy.
You're going to keep taking these Wayne Potts horses, though, aren't you? You're just going to, trainer, assistant trainer or not, you're just going to keep banging them out.
I mean, I don't know where else I'm supposed to.
Well, he probably will beat Scotto. I will
where
give you
else
that.
I'm supposed to go?
Well, what's wrong with Trash Talker? Isn't he the controlling speed in this race? Comes out of a race where he couldn't get the lead, the killer field last time out. He was involved in the fast-paced 2 races back.
I guess.
He's clearly the other horse in this race. I mean, he's fast enough to win, and he's the controlling speed. So I'm not exactly sure why he's your 4th pick. Can I bet you a couple lunches the 4 beats the 1?
You gonna give me 2-1?
I'll give you 3-2.
I'll take 3-2.
3-2, 4 over 1. Okay. So we'll be at 91 after this. So that 100 is well within reach. Race number 4. Not a lot to go on in race number 4. Not a lot to go on whatsoever. You've Tape opened the gate. Who I have second. Have at it.
Dropping down for Bill Mott. This horse was wide around there last time out.
This horse was not wide. This horse was too wide in the first turn, too wide and on the rail in the second turn. This horse was not wide. Let's make sure at least we're
on
accurate.
the inside.
She wasn't wide.
Okay.
She was too wide in the first turn.
She wasn't parked
She was too
out.
wide. You said wide. She was
Yeah.
not wide. She was too wide in the
Okay.
first turn. She was too wide to the rail in the second turn.
She's also dropping in from a race that's, in all likelihood, going to be okay.
See, I'm going to disagree with that. I think
Really?
there's a real chance that she's coming out of a stinker of a race. And I
Really?
think it's going to be evidenced potentially in on Saturday's card.
Huh.
Well, I don't know. Did Kinchin run well on Saturday? Did the Tommy Albertrani horse?
I mean, I kind of thought Kinchin was a little pace
The
compromised
horse
on
got a
Saturday.
67
no?
by. Of course, we're
Yeah,
sitting
I
close to
understand
pace.
that.
No, I don't think Kinshin ran
Okay.
well. The horse who won the race ran horrendously in the race, didn't lift a hoof. I don't know. That race did not get a good figure. This horse didn't do any running in there.
I know
None.
that.
Zero.
I know-
Zilch.
listen,
Got a
but-
fast pace, was sitting behind it, and went backwards.
Listen.
I think there's a real question of whether or not that race may end up being a stinker. Now, we'll get to find out because you've got Shug's horse coming back out of it that set the pace, and it was a quick pace. You've got Vagaries, who arguably ran as well, if not better than anybody, with a wide trip in there. She's coming back as well. Now, listen, maybe they'll come back and run well, but I think based on the evidence that we saw with the first two finishers in the Miss Grillo, I'm not sure that race might not have been a bit of a
Okay.
stinker.
Okay.
Listen, I've got this horse second. This horse is going to be bet by default. Do we have any guarantee this horse
This
can
horse
run
is
at all?
going to be bet by default. I would imagine with the Mike Maker run of the 11 Vexed and Relaxed, that she'll be favored in here. But yes, this horse will take
Are
money off
you
of a race that's.
relaxed when you're vexed? I'm trying to think.
I've been vexed an awful lot lately too. Sometimes, if I'm smoking a cigar, got a little,
I don't
got
know.
a little
I'm
whiskey.
going to have to ask Mike
It
Dubb
depends.
if it vexed and relaxed.
Vexed and relaxed. Yeah, it's kind of
This is
yeah.
another horse, by the way, and I've got this horse third.
did very little running.
Broke a half slow, was on the rail, and did nothing. Nothing. And I agree. I've got him second and third, so it's not like I've taken a big stand against these horses. I mean, there's just really sort of nowhere to go. But I like False Hope. I mean, at least with False Hope, you've got a horse that was close to a pace that fell apart. You've got a horse that was legitimately wide, 3 wide in the first turn, 3 to 4 wide in the second turn. Kind of gave up on this horse. And at least with False Hope, you've got a horse that did a little running in the race. The other
Right, up
horses
close, they're only
have
tired,
good
yeah.
connections,
Okay.
and they did absolutely no running. That doesn't mean they can't win today, but at least this horse was wide, up close to the pace. They just sort of gave up on her as the race sort of fell apart in the late stages, and I thought False Hope might be kind of interesting in here.
Okay.
So I like the 7 False Hope. And perhaps you'll give me some False Hope of cashing a ticket in race 4. Starts on the pick 6.
You've had a pretty good meet, Andy.
I have.
wouldn't
No.
worry
it's
about
all-
having
all's
cashing
good.
tickets, my
I
friend.
meant in this day race. I meant today. Every day's a new day.
Every day's a new day. Yes, I know.
It's like a Hallmark card, right? It's like a bad
I
card.
was it's more like a
Every day's
fortune cookie, but yes,
Yeah,
Hallmark
yeah, it's
card,
a fortune-
fortune cookie.
I got to tell you.
You missed me?
No, I think that, I'm thinking this about fortune cookies. They just need to be more clever. You know?
I mean,
there's got to be like
you
restaurants.
keep your fortunes?
No, there have to be places.
You know I keep my
There have,
fortunes, right?
you're a lunatic. There have to be places around the country. There must be
Yeah,
some like
that's the
known
reason.
like restaurants that have like clever, fun fortunes. There's got to be a market for clever, fun fortunes, right? They're just so boring.
I mean, I would think. You know, I'm going to tell you the truth. The last couple of times I've had some Chinese food, they've neglected the fortune cookies.
Maybe they're trying to help. Race number 5. I think
walked
we have
right in-
both
I
have
walked
this.
right
We
into
both
that.
have the same horse on top,
That's
and
my
that's this
fault.
horse, Sarah Kisses. We'll show running second last time. Why do you like Sarah Kisses?
I mean, the drop last time seemed to do the trick, right? And catching some horses in here that I don't think did as much running in the special weight races that are dropping now that she did in one of in her first 2. I thought her first 2 were okay. You know, I know the barn's high on Derry Name when they went to the turf for Saratoga Kisses. She's just catching a weak bunch of horses. Like I said, I think the droppers are more vulnerable than when she dropped last time. She ran well at the level, and she just thinks she makes a ton of sense.
I think the actual most important thing about her last race, besides the fact that it's a fig that stands out in here, though there really isn't much to go on, is that she was wide that day, and that was opening week here when the rail was extremely strong. The race was 1 wire to wire by a horse inside, and this horse was 3-4 wide against the gold rail. So this horse was way against the track and running a figure that's better than these horses. To me, that's the key to this horse and why she's very much the one to beat in here. You've got half birthday of Brad Cox, first or second.
Yeah, I got a little push on this horse. I was told the horse might need one, and I was told the horse might need turf, but this horse.
So
had a
this
little
horse
talent.
might need one and might
Might
need
need
turf.
one, might need turf, but this
and
horse
you
had a little
picked this
talent.
one on your
I
tip.
was told this horse had a little talent.
Your tips have been knocking them dead so far at the meet. Okay. Back up the Brinks for Antonio Arriaga. Comes out of that weird race when they sealed the track and horses have come out of it and run. This horse had legitimate trouble at the start, was like 2 to 3 lengths worth of trouble at the start. Came in and really bumped hard and then got cut off by the horse outside of her, the number 4 horse. It's a horse I thought had a legitimate trip in sort of a weird race. They kind of gave up on her. And I thought maybe Back Up the Brinks was an interesting horse to use at a bit of a price. La Swoo Pasta, I found out, I got a trainer stat. for this horse. Kelly Breen, first-time starters in maiden claimers and dirt sprints, or dirt sprints, sprinter. I'd say sprints, not dirt sprinter, sprints. A little poetic license there, don't you think? Must have been Francisco. It's not any wins. This horse is a half to It's Okay, or no, it's
Gravy?
Gravy. It's Gravy,
Yeah.
right? Who is okay. I had the horse third. Who do
It's
you have in
sauce.
here besides the 3 and the 1? What do we like about the 1?
Just going to the dirt first time. Notas are going well. That was it. And I
So
think that.
all Nota horses are included going forward.
No, I don't know if they're all going to be included, but like I said, I wasn't really too impressed with anything else in here, and this horse is going to go to the dirt for the first time. See if the drop in the dirt helps.
I'm 3 with a little bit of 10. Race number 5 kicks off the late pick 5, the late pick 4 after a quick break.
It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and Naira Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With Naira Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the Naira Bets app or visit nairabets.com.
Back to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile and Andy Serling, race number 6. We'll take a look at Hieroglyphics, whose last start was back in May, and a victory was claimed by Mike Maker, a long time coming back for a barn that just doesn't do a lot of claiming. Tough to trust this horse, but
Claimed
obviously
from
he
Mike
can win.
Maker,
Yeah,
yes.
so I said claimed from Mike
I know you
Maker.
said bye.
No, claimed by a trainer.
okay.
I said claimed by a trainer who doesn't have a lot of horses off the claim.
Sorry, Bubby. Yeah, and this horse has been he's been kind of MIA the last year. 2 start. This will be his 2nd start in just about 10 months, 9.5 months.
He is
and
better than these horses if he runs his
He
race,
was.
though.
I mean, there was a time where he would be prohibitive favorite in this race.
I don't disagree.
I don't think those days are. I think those days may be behind them.
Well,
now.
he's going to be one of the choices in here, and he should be. You like Tizarunner. I saw David made Tizarunner the 5-2 morning line favorite. My friend Nick Tamara likes this horse as well. What do you like about this horse?
I just think the recency over horses like Hieroglyphics and like Forever Mo, who I think does have. I didn't use him, but I do think he has a chance in here. I just thought his recency. I thought his last race was one of his better efforts. Certainly one of his better efforts in over a year, if not his best effort in over a year. And like I said, he ran well off the claim. He ran well on the raise, and I think he's going to work out a pretty good trip just off the pace in here.
I don't like this horse at all.
Wow. I thought he made a ton of
think
sense today.
I know. Maybe you're right. I think he's. I'd like to book him at 5-2.
I don't think he'll be
that.
that short. I think this is going to be a very strange total. I think there'll be a lot of horses in the 7-2 range.
I
like
think
that.
Obviously it's no secret that there have been enormous problems with the timing of our races since we got back to Belmont. It's very clear that the times for this race were inaccurate. The question is, how inaccurate were they? Well, I use the Trackus times. I look at Trackus for pretty much every race we run here. Just sometimes they're in line, but also just to confirm them. And it was clear that those fractions were inaccurate. They didn't go 28. Just the whole thing was silly. They didn't go 113. They didn't go those kind of fractions and then close in 28. So I look at the Trackus times, and they seem kind of crazy, except a friend of mine who times the races, Craig Milkowski, I believe justified that these times, in fact, from Trackus were basically accurate. The actual first quarter in that last was 27:34. They went 52:51 according to Trackus the half, 116:69 to the 3/4. And then they were able to come home in 28 and 0.17. And 144 and 4/5 was the final time. So the race being represented by the times in the PPs is a completely different race that was run. And that was a race, not surprisingly, was dominated in the front end. And I don't think that Tizarunner showed a lot more speed in there. I think, in fact, he was just on top of an extremely slow pace. Now, that's not to say he can't rate and be effective. And his prior 2 races for Mike Maker against Cheaper were good enough to give him a chance in here. But I believe he's completely misrepresented by that race, and I believe the Trackus times are much closer. I know they're much closer to accurate than the fantasy that's listed in the charts. And the best thing I can say is go to the Trackus link on our NYRA website, something I tweet out quite frequently, and look up times during this meet, because to me those times are all inaccurate. And I think the horse is going to be bet for all the wrong reasons. So I don't like him. I may end up being wrong, but I think his last race is as phonied up as a race could be. I do think that her outrageous bet is okay. I know he's moving up and he got a perfect trip and he's meeting some tougher horses, but you know, as a runner, okay, he ran all right last time. Isn't outrageous bet in great form?
Yeah, I have him third. And Pat Reynolds, you know, he's gotten this horse to get closer to the pace. He's never been as tactical as he's been for Pat. And I know one of the races was going 1 mile and 3/8, but still, last time out, you know, they went 46 and some change.
Well, you got a great, but fractions are probably inaccurate. So I wouldn't. Let's not use fractions. Let's not use times.
Okay.
Unless
but he's still closer.
Unless you look them up on
He's
fractions.
still closer to any kind of pace he's ever really
he's in
been
good form.
to. Yeah,
He's
in
like
good
a
form.
new horse in recent months. By the way, Hieroglyphics was actually a vet scratch on July 31st and September 3rd, for what it's worth. What do you like about Castagno?
Well, I thought Castagno was another one who'd be laid up close to what I thought was a fairly moderate pace. I would
Does
imagine
that matter?
big one. Well, I thought he could maybe parlay a good trip into a.
Okay, he'll be a big
race.
price.
I don't trust some of the others in here.
I
I don't
understand.
trust Hieroglyphics. I don't trust Forever Mo off the break.
That's fine. I like Forever Mo in here, mostly because I think the race is between the 3, 5, and 7. And I understand the 7 is untrustworthy. And I understand Forever Mo hasn't been out since June. I get it. Forever Mo is in an impossible spot, got an impossible trip, impossible circumstances, picks up Javier Castellano, who's been riding very, very well. And he's just got races that are good enough to win it. I'm with you. I don't trust him either. Excuse me, but he's going to be, excuse me, I have an enormous frog in my throat. He's going to be a square enough price. He's not going to be 3 to 1. In the 5 to 1 range, I don't mind guessing with him. I hear you. I think you and I saw this race very, very differently.
We did.
You like horses favored in the morning line that I don't like at all. But listen, Nick Tammer likes this horse too. I respect Nick. I just think you guys are wrong. But we'll see how it works out.
Okay.
A little bit of difference in race number 6. Race number 7, not my favorite kind of race. We'll go back a little bit and look at Awesome Indra beating Sweet Mia. This is 3 starts back for Awesome Indra, and Awesome Indra is in the Morley Barn now, and the Morley Barn can seemingly do no wrong.
Yep, you got to respect that. Horse has a couple of wins here at Belmont Park. She gets back off of that win against the race you're seeing right here after a couple of efforts at Saratoga. She got cooked up in a quick pace last time early on, and now she drops back. She's back in for the quarter after
Wasn't that fast,
6
but-
weeks. It went quick early.
Not really, but okay.
And now I don't know. Listen, she finds, in my opinion, a bunch of horses that when you combine how well the barn's going and some of her back races, she's supposed
to beat in here.
She's supposed to boss.
Should be a
these
short
horses
price,
around.
I guess. I didn't try to beat her. I'm going to use my Roxy Girl. I want to see more from this 10-pound rider. I don't want to be hard on 10-pound bug riders, but this is a pretty tough place to ride, and so far I need to see more from this rider before I start taking his horses. I'm assuming that he is still on this horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a different rider, I actually might have picked this horse in the rail. I don't have a lot of confidence in there, but I think my Roxy Girl, this is a pretty soft spot considering who she's faced in her races.
Okay.
I thought she made a certain amount of sense in here. I'm going to use her as well. And I suppose Sweet Mia is not impossible. Also off the claim for Danny Gargan. Danny Gargan's got decent numbers off the claim as far as percentages with dirt sprinters, but the ROI is very low. But I'm going to use 1, 4s, and 7s. Thought they were the right 3 horses in race number 7. Race number 8. So
The Ocho.
we'll take a look at the important one, finally getting a chance to run the dirt, the surface she should have spent her entire career on, having run her best 2 career races on the dirt. Well, I mean, her race that she ran in Saratoga last year was terrific. And she finally got lucky, and they rained her race off, and she ran a huge figure. Now, that figure is a little bit high. It's probably closer to 90. I don't really think that Betsy Blue ran as big a fig. Beautiful Karen got a 79, running a distant third. She's more of a mid-70s type, so it's probably a little on the high side, but she ran. I know. It's a scheduled dirt race. She's got to face some other horses here. I think she's going to win again. I'm
Got to
not.
face some other speed in here too, Andy. I mean,
Well,
you know,
when was she a speed horse? I'm sorry. When
her
was
race last time when she was able to control is her
But
best race by far on the
But
card.
she ran
That's not-
fine. She ran
She
fine.
ran fine.
last September.
Yeah,
She ran a race
fine.
last September that's going to make her tough in here. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I don't. see her as a
She is
lead
going
type.
to be the favorite off of that last race, and I think this
Probably.
is a completely, this is a
That's fair.
entirely different kettle of fish today.
Okay. I think she's the horse to beat. You disagree? That's fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of fading.
I
her
think she's a
today.
dirt horse that's been looking around the surface, and frankly, I'm not thrilled with a lot of these. I mean, I think the one, we'll take a look at the one by hubby Hello Money. It's a funny name for a horse whose
Well, it's a
sire
good
was
name for
FNX.
FNX.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I,
great name,
I
right?
get it. I get it. I'm not a moron.
She's going to get up here in the Fleet
complete
Indian at a
moron.
big price. And now she's
back
going
to 6 furlongs.
Yeah, cutting back from 9 to 6. Sprint races, she almost got to Breakfast at Bonnie's in the slop at Saratoga, going 5.5 on an off the turf race. There's some speed in here. And I think
Not that much.
there are a lot of horses that want to be forward. Honey Money wants to be forward. The Important One did her best work forward. A Will Away was forward last time against a pair of blinkers.
Sure, they'll be
Beautiful-
blazing out there.
Beautiful
oh,
Karen,
they'll be cooking out front.
Shaker Shack. But these are all horses that have shown speed in the past. I mean, you'd have to
None of them are that fast, but okay.
You'd have to think they're going to do a little hitting. Up.
No, I don't, but okay.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
I don't have a strong opinion on it either way. I think the potential exists for there to be some hitting up front, but I don't have any firm belief that there will be. I'm not in love with the Important Line. I went to bet against her, and I think the horse you have second. Obviously, given how the Nota Barnes horses are running, you have to use her. I mean, you have to use every Nota horse now. They're a barn. They did wins in bunches or they stink in bunches.
Yeah.
And right now, they're winning in bunches, and their horses are running better than their PPs.
And this is a filly, Prairie Fire, the number 9, who obviously has just been running against exponentially better. She's dropping in for a tag for what I believe is the first time in a long time. I think she was in for a tag earlier in her career.
I think you're right.
I believe she started out in the maiden claiming ranks.
Listen, she's got races that will
Bury
that
these
will,
horses.
Well,
And if I'm right-
no.
Well,
She's got
well,
races
not-
that
well,
will
not
beat
the important
everybody,
one.
but
Yeah.
the important one,
Not
if the important
one's
run
last
runs her
race.
blast figure.
Yeah, right. But as
I
far
don't
as
know
her
about
resume
bury
goes,
them. She has races that will beat these.
as far as her resume goes, she's the most accomplished in here. Now she hasn't run to that form in quite some time, close to a year. But again,
That's the problem.
She has just been. But Andy, Mrs. Orr,
Anthony, I've got her
Sadie
se- I've
Lady,
got her
right.
picked second.
Yeah, you know,
I'm not-
I mean, she's just been running against
I'm not.
so much
She's
better.
also not going to be 6-1
No, she's not going to be 6-1. She'll probably be half that. She'll probably be 7-2.
at best.
Right.
Yeah.
So
in fact, if she were 6-1, I'd be worried about her. To be honest with you,
if she was 6-1, I wouldn't bet. You're 100% right.
she should have won the Iroquois last year. She was unlucky.
Yes,
Very
unlucky
unlucky in
last
there.
year.
I don't disagree. I mean, she got races, and you've got to know to barn that horses are running. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm not.
I seem to think, as usual, that there's more speed in here than you, so I wanted the horses that want to come running.
Well, wait a second. She doesn't have to be that slow.
No. I know. Listen, I don't think she'll
I
be
mean, she's
that,
not
but-
going to be forward, but she's
Yeah.
not a horse that. She's
No.
a horse that, when she's good, she adapts to circumstances. I don't have a problem with her, and I'm not letting those guys beat me. I mean, the other ones, the Honey Money, she's fine, but I'm not thrilled. Obviously, by hubby, Hello Money is dangerous. She's maybe a new horse, and I could use her. But the other ones are just sort of, I've sort of seen them. I think the 1, 3, or 9 are going to win this race. I know you have to have every Wayne Potts
Well, the
horse
honey.
in the top
I'm going to
three.
tell you what the
Do you
case.
have a contract with
the
them to
case
have
for
the
Honey
1, 3?
Money, I really think is.
She gets lucky.
I mean,
Nobody
Andy,
else shows up.
Her last 3. What's wrong with her last 3 races?
She's fine.
You know?
But she's not going to
She's
win
really
at the important
she's
run runs
really
a race.
improved. No,
she's
no, no,
fine.
no.
She can win.
Yeah,
I've got
she's
her.
improved.
She was my 5th pick.
Yeah, she get a piece in here.
No, she's not impossible. I'm teasing you, but you pick every Wayne Potts horse somewhere 1, 2, 3. Race number 9. Well, obviously, race number 9 depended on whether or not
Different
Hit the
race.
Nail got in. And I know Hit the Nail kind of stunk last time. She's on the rail and she didn't know running. Those horses are probably better than these, and I just think Hit the Nail getting in becomes very, very dangerous in here.
Yeah.
I don't really
I
think there's a
couldn't
lot
agree
to
more.
say. His horse was very unlucky first time out, didn't run badly against a better horse, and it did not run well last time. I'm going to tell you, this horse did not run well last time. But maybe they're just finding out that they were a little bit more ambitious than they should be. And the other thing is, who are you supposed to like in this
Right.
race? I mean, we'll take a look at Bella Principessa running second.
Kind of had enough of this act.
Yeah,
right? I know
she
the
ran
turf
okay in
form's better
here,
than
but
the
I
dirt.
agree. She's just had so many chances.
Yeah, and she's been in some spots. She got beat a half length. She got beat 3/4 of the races where you feel like she could have won and she didn't. You don't want to keep chasing horses like this,
And she's just-
especially. She's going to be what?
The
third
13
choice, second
the
choice?
13's supposed to beat her.
13's
If,
supposed to beat her.
if Hit the Nail can't beat horses like Bella Principessa, then, where you go with her from that point.
I think Spill the Tea's a little interesting. First time Danny Gargan.
But he
dropping
entered
in.
this horse in a sprint and didn't get in the other day. Are you really confident this horse wants a mile?
Well,
no, it's an Ironicus, but they've been more intent on running this horse in sprints.
they have, yep, and she sprinted twice down in
Obviously,
Florida.
first time Danny Gargan is dangerous.
But it's
for
first
Flying
time
P.
Gargan. It's first time State Bred's in for a tag out of the special weight races down at Gulfstream Park. Yeah, I thought she was a little. She's.
I don't
short.
particularly like her, but she could obviously win this race. I actually think Tales of McKenna, not named for Pat McKenna.
Not named for Pat McKenna. No.
I think this horse ran okay. Take a look at the race this horse was in last time at Saratoga. This race was dominated in the front end by Home for Christmas. Broke a half slow, 2-3 wide on the second turn, angled out. I actually thought that Tales of McKenna ran fairly well last time, and I was going to use her as my other horse.
Yeah. She
Only ran
makes,
once in the turf. She ran fine.
She makes a bunch of sense.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
question
she's
about
sort
it.
of logical. I mean, she would be my backup. Tales
Yeah.
of Pat McKenna.
Tales of Pat McKenna. Charlie Morton.
He was very mad when I made fun of him during the Yankee game the other night. He was very mad. I had to do it. Did I not have to do it? You
Of course you
weren't
had
man
to do
enough
it.
to do it, but I was. You just stayed silent.
I was
during
a little
that, didn't you?
preoccupied. But yes,
Yeah, I know. You were
I had
busy
to,
rooting for the Red Sox. I was very happy to see the Red Sox win, so Yankee fans
I
can
know
be
you
bitter. Anyway, I know that you. Theo Epstein made the best move of all time. He said he doesn't want to work for the Mets. He got smarter instantly. His IQ went up. He's always considered one of the smartest guys in baseball. He's now confirmed, right? He didn't go work for the Mets. He didn't work at that mess. Anyhow,
You want to? I gave you the stat off air. 103 days in first place. It was the longest a team had spent in first place without finishing with a winning record.
yeah, their being in first place reminded me of a year, sometime like in the last 15 years, where the Orioles had a bad team and they were winning at the All-Star break. And you just knew that they were, like a bad favorite leading at
happened
the eighth
quickly,
hole
too.
that you knew was going to get usurped.
Yes.
Anyhow, it's a beautiful day here at Belmont. It's supposed to be
really
a very
is.
nice week here. Join us out at Big B or watch us on America's Day at the Races, which is really now Belmont Live because it's just us. Head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, no better time than the present to become
No
a
better.
member of Naira Bets. Use the promo code MATCH200. We will match the $200 of your initial deposit. NairaBets.com for more information. 50-50, Belmont and Delaware Park. Opt in. Very easy to opt in on the app. Anthony showed me how to do it. Anthony can do it. I can do it.
I can do it.
He can do it. I
Analog-
can do it. You can do
We're
it.
analog players
Yeah.
in a digital world, folks.
There you go. That's $15 bonus on that also, as we said. Saturday contest, $300 buy-in. You have until 5 o'clock tomorrow, so you've got about 29 hours and
still
13
morning.
minutes. It is still morning. Head over to Naira.com/contests. And finally, America's Day at the Races, 12:30 to 5 on FS2.
Time you on today?
I'm on early with Acacia.
Nice.
That's
All
all
right.
we got. Yeah, that's all we got.
I'm going to stick around today. It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. Hope you enjoy it. Johnny and I will be up next to reprise the scratches and changes.